In today's quick tip, we're going to go over whether or not your dog truly understands the commands being given to them, and if they do not listen, what you can do to correct that behavior. In this scenario, we're talking about commands they've already been taught and they should know how to execute perfectly every single time. So for example, if you're doing your job properly, if you've taught them well, and if you've taught them basic obedience, sit, down, stay, come, you know if you tell them to sit, they will automatically go into a sit, whether it's a verbal command or a hand gesture. In most cases, you have to give your dog a few seconds to process what you're saying to them. So on the low end, it could be 2 or 3 seconds. On the high end, it could be 8 or 9 seconds. You have to realize, just like with people, you need to make sure your dog is paying attention to you. So if you give them a command and they're off looking at the squirrels running by, that's not really fair. You don't have their attention, you don't have their focus. But when you say something, whether it's like, again, a sit command or a down or a stay, say it once, give them a few seconds to process. Now, if they do it right away, like if you tell them to sit and their butt drops right away and they immediately sit, jackpot reward, because you want to encourage the behaviors you want to see more of. So it's all about consistency. So the more they do the correct thing, really give that your attention, give that your focus, give that your love, the praise, the treats. Now, if you tell them to sit and it takes them multiple seconds, you're saying it once now, but you say sit and it takes them several seconds, maybe then it's not a jackpot reward, it's a lesser reward. You still want to acknowledge they did a good job, but ideally you want to have a more immediate response, a more immediate reaction when you give them a command. Now, if you're giving them a command that you know they should execute perfectly and they don't do it, do not keep repeating the command. The worst thing you could do is to repeat yourself and say, sit, 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 sit. And then if they eventually do it, you've now taught your dog, oh, I can sit on the third, fourth, or fifth try. Say it once, and if they don't do it after several seconds, the consequence now is you go over and you put them in a sit. So in the positive side of it, there is still a consequence if they do a good job, if they do a proper job. The consequence in the positive way is they get the praise, they get the treats, they get the love, the affection, the rewards. On the flip side, if they do not listen, and again, we're talking about commands they've already been taught and they know and they can execute perfectly every time. If you give them a command and they don't do it, the consequence here is you're going to put them in the sit. You're going to make them acknowledge you. Same thing would be if you're doing recall. So if you have your dog on a long line, on a long leash, and if they come to you when called, that's great. You jackpot reward. If they do not come, you reel them in. That's a consequence because you're letting them know they are coming to you whether they want to or not. You told them to do something that they know how to do, and there has to be a consequence, because the worst thing you can do is be that dog mom or dog dad. You tell your dog to do something. Let's again focus on a sit command. You tell them to sit. They look at you. They ignore you. They walk away, and you say, fine, whatever, forget it. You've just taught your dog to not listen to you. So the important takeaways here are be consistent with not only rewards, but also the consequence. And that's really how you're going to gauge if your dog truly understands what is expected of them and what they know in the various commands you've taught them, because you want to make sure they're actually listening consistently and every single time.